something pretty different over here in the... What are we doing today, Scotty? We'll look at it.
Yeah, I think it was when
Ethan, what are you doing back here?
Taking a look at how possible this is.
We're going on sick week, and we're taking a third. And unfortunately, we didn't know this before we added a bunch of bars bracing the chassis. So we're going to try to fit little Ethan in between these two bars. We know this isn't the safest thing, but Ethan's not going to stay back in Ohio while we go on sick week. So we got to make it happen. That's the first time I've said it, that we're going on sick week. If you're on my TikTok, you would see that I said we were going on sick week. But as for the YouTube, this is our announcement. We're going on sick week. We were going to originally take my car, but with the problems we've had, and we decided we're taking Billy's car because of all the problems I've had with my car. And we just don't want to repeat it last year. All of this is funny because me and Billy both are in a similar boat, but not really. As you can see, we've got Billy's parts laid everywhere, and we actually just got his block back from the machine shop, and they gave it the go-ahead. It's ready to go. New crank is in that box. So here soon we're going to be putting Billy's motor together, getting his shit back up and running. So then we won't be in the same boat. But we're going to try to go and win the stick shift class. It's going to be our first time out on an adjustable clutch. We might have a little bit of testing in before we get down there, but we'll just have to see, because me and Billy need our NHRA license. That's another thing. Billy's letting me drive, so it's going to be my first time behind the wheel of a high horsepower stick shift car. Really first time racing a rear wheel drive car, so this will all be very new for me. But I think I'll be okay. I don't know. We'll see. I've also heard that slicks on the big end on a rear wheel drive car feel a little sketchy. Yeah, which I don't know that it's going to be anything I'm not used to.
It can't be any worse than torque steer.
Yeah, so we'll see. But yeah, we're very excited. So yeah, guys, we're back out in the garage. Day one of what's going to wind up being many days of us assembling Billy's Dart small block Ford. If you can hear that in the background, he's grinding rings or filing rings right now. We're almost halfway through filing rings. Billy?
counting.
He's counting. How many cranks? He's been cranking all morning and afternoon. Are we almost halfway through?
Almost.
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 Do you want to walk us through, in your mind, what our process is going to be from this point to assembly?
Well, we're trying to get the pistons put back together, and then we're gonna check the thrust on the crankshaft. If the thrust is good, we'll torque that down. Get the rods dropped in.
Yeah, and we're going to plastic gauge, right?
Yeah, we're gonna plastic gauge, and we did buy a dial bore indicator.
Yeah.
Bore dial indicator, whatever.
Well, so we bought a micrometer, right?
Yeah.
We got
Journals.
Yeah, we got a micrometer and a dial bore indicator. The guys who machined the block, Wasserbeck up in Prospect, Ohio, they were actually super awesome to work with and got this done pretty quick. But yeah, they said everything's pretty good to go. We ended up going with a new main cap. And as I don't know how much we showcased in the video whenever we tore it down after all the damage. You can see this little groove right there. So this is the thrust surface where my fingernail is. And inside of that, that's all the thrust surface. Outside of that is where it kind of got under the block a little bit. Wasserbeck verified that that's a non-issue. It didn't touch the actual thrust surface. If it had, we would have been kind of in deep shit. So we're good there. I'll show you guys the old main cap. Is it up? Okay. I can't remember if we showed you guys before. I remember we showed the crank. I don't know if we showed this main cap, but yeah. So versus trying to get anything like that to work, we just got a new main cap. They filed it down, refit it, and then line board it, and it's been line honed. Everything's good. But yeah, so file the rings. We got a rod bolt stretch gauge. So whenever everything's good, piston and rod wise, then we can go into checking the thrust and making sure we have good oil clearances with the mains, and then obviously with the rods too. So then the short block will be mostly assembled. I'm not sure with push rod motors if the cam is considered part of the short block assembly, but obviously it's in the bottom end. So after that, we'll do the cam install. And
Probably drop the camshaft in before we put the crank in, just that way we can guide it in.
okay,
So,
put the crank in for final assembly. Yeah.
yeah.
That's a good call. But yeah, so then we'll get the cam in, get it degreed in. After that, it's kind of, I feel like, home free, you know? If I'm not wrong. I mean, you're bolting cylinder heads down at that point.
Yeah. I mean, just making sure the rockers and everything are lined up, which we didn't move the valve guides, so nothing should be too far off, or the push rod guides. So
This is the ring filer we're using to avoid overdoing it, hopefully. How much were the piston rings?
$360.
Holy shit. I was gonna say I would have almost bought 2 sets, but
Yeah, I wasn't buying 2
yeah.
sets.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Plan on not fucking up the first time.
Right. What I'm gonna be doing, that's a simple thing that even a monkey could do. So Billy tasked me with this, cleaning the rod bolts, and then I'll weasel my way into some more work after that, but we'll see. All right, guys, just gonna kind of wrap up the end of day 1 for the start to us cleaning and measuring and assembling the Dart small block Ford. I just got done cleaning the crank. As I said earlier, I started cleaning the rod bolts. Then I cleaned the main hardware and the main caps, and cleaned main bearings, rod bearings, and then I just finished cleaning the crank. And I gotta say, I really hope that crank wasn't cleaned. I'm assuming it wasn't, because I'll show you guys the platform on our parts washer that we just got. This guy right here, you could see like a glitter from all the stuff that came out of the crank. So good thing we cleaned it. But yeah, I wish I would have kind of showed you guys before, but she's looking good now. So, and I did a little, I don't know, I just thought of it. It's a cool little trick to be able to get inside of the oil galleys and flush them out better than like the brush or the rubber hose. I literally just pushed, it's a -3 adapter. I pushed it inside of the hose, and it fit perfectly up to the oil galleys, and it allowed me to flush them out really well. So Billy finished the piston rings, so trying to think of what's next. After that, we're going to be dropping the crank in and getting thrust measurement. After we get, well, I guess we'll get at the very least, get a rough idea of our mains and make sure we're good there. And then drop it in, get our thrust. After that, soon as the crank will come back out, and then we'll plastic gauge everything. So to get the thrust, I almost feel like we should do the mains first, because the machine shop, they also assemble engines. They're a speed shop. The guy there said we should put the crank in dry for the plastic gauge, and then obviously to do the thrust, we're going to want to oil it because you're going to spin it around a little bit and then tap it back and forth. So honestly, we might end up doing the mains first and then the thrust, and that way, whenever we assemble it with oil for the thrust, we can just leave the crank in there. So, but after we get the mains and then pull it back out, oil it, we can put it back in, check the thrust. If the thrust is good, we can go into, these could both be happening at the same time, but we got to get rod measurements and make sure our rod bearings are within, or our clearance, our oil clearance is within spec. After that, we can, the rod's already assembled with the pistons, but we can go ahead and throw the rings on, and we can start dropping pistons into cylinders. So that would be pretty cool. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I'm not sure just yet if this is going to be one video, day one, but I'll go ahead and end it out. If you made it all the way through the video, really appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. That all helps. And stay tuned for us getting this thing together. Like I said before, we're taking this on sick week, and we need to get this thing together because there's some fabrication things we need to do, and we don't want to start that until the engine is sealed up. But once the engine's together, as soon as we can, we're going to try to find a test and tune so we can get that new adjustable clutch from Black Magic Clutches dialed in. And me and Billy, I'm going to be the main driver of the car. But me and Billy both need our NHRA license, and we'd like to both get them before we go to sick week. That way we could both make passes, if Billy wants to make a couple passes, which I'm sure he will. So, like I said, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. See you guys later. What's up, guys? We're back in the garage. Am I recording? I'm recording. What's up, guys? We're back in the garage. This is day 2 of getting this dark small block Ford back together. So, we just dropped the crank in, torqued the main caps down with plastic gauge in there, and we're about to pull the last main cap off and measure everything, see if we're pretty close. For anybody who wants to talk shit about us using plastic gauge, the crank was measured by Zach Smith, and we were told by the machine shop who fixed the block for us that the mains were all the same measurement, or the line hood was all the same measurement.
What?
What's so funny?
I was just laughing about me being in this video with these goofy ass shoes on.
Yeah, those jeans are way too nice to be in the garage, which I got my nice jeans on too. But yeah, so we probably maybe could get away without measuring anything. We're about to find out if we could have got away with it. But I guess the plastic gauge is a good check, and it's probably going to be good. After we measure the plastic gauge, we got to pull it out, get the plastic gauge off the journals, oil everything up, or lube everything up, do the same thing, torque it all back down, and then we don't torque it all back down right away. There's a step-by-step process we follow to check the thrust of the crank. So yeah, if the thrust is good, we can leave the crank in. Wait, no. We can't leave the crank in because Billy wants to have the crank out for whenever we install the cam. So we can help guide it through the cam journals.
Did you have a machine shop throw new bearings in?
Yeah.
Cam,
Yeah.
Or did you do that yourself?
No, they did it.
You gonna measure this shit?
Yeah, it's somewhere between 2 and 3 thousandths.
Isn't that large?
No.
Okay.
No, 2 to 3. That's not bad.
So did one of the plastic gauge is on the main caps?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
it's on
This
both.
is just an impression from it.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I touch that? Are you gonna measure that?
It's probably the same.
Yeah.
Probably, maybe.
I can't remember what Wasserbeck said we should see on the plastic gauge.
I mean, it's definitely not the smaller
That one's a
clearances.
hair on the tight side, like 19, I'd say. You put this one in crooked. That one's a hair on under 2. 2. I would say they're all at like 2, maybe 19. So they're on the skinnier side, but it's not crazy skinny. Or tight side.
Yeah, I mean, I saw you ordered standard bearings. Are you looking up what the clearance should be?
Mm-hmm.
I would assume it's going to read identical over here.
Or wait, are those standard or extra?
I can't remember the boxes.
Because I think no, those are extra. The mains the main bearings are extra. I think the rods are standard. Which
These all look like they're sitting at like 19 to 20 thousandths. Because none of them are come up smaller than 2. Which means 20 thousandths is the biggest they are.
I mean, it is fucking plastic gauge after all. Not the most fucking accurate.
well, we'll pick back up whenever we get some answers as to if these clearances are too tight or not. So
Okay, we're way off here. It don't fit.
fuck. I'm gonna have to redo that. This is Billy's first time using a fucking dial bore gauge. Fucking amateur hour. What you looking for?
I'm just trying to figure out who set these
Putting
damn
fingerprints in the damn valve cover.
valve covers on my rear main seal.
What are you getting that for? You need medicated.
What do you mean? What's he getting that for?
What-
Man, he needs that.
Oh fuck, this ain't gonna work. Let's go on to measuring the crank journals.
You got to do them both at one point.
Yeah. Squirrel! What's up, guys? This is gonna be the end of part 1. I think I'm gonna title everything "Road to Sick Week." But yeah, we've got the short block assembled, which is right behind me. I'm working on cleaning cylinder heads and some wiring stuff. Once the cylinder heads are cleaned, Billy will drop them on, get them torqued down, and then we gotta clean the intake. But other than that, there's not a whole lot to do before the motor goes in. So I'll show you guys some of what we've been working on. So there's the short block. And there's our new dog, Brutus. Brutus! He don't listen very well. He's a puppy. How long have we had him? Like
Maybe a week,
a week?
2 weeks maybe.
2 weeks, maybe. He's a good boy. He likes to pick shit up. Yeah, whatever. So the short block is assembled, as you guys saw. I've got one cylinder head cleaned. That's this one. See the difference there? I was able to get most of the carbon out. Not a big deal, whether it stays or goes. But cylinder heads are cleaned. Other than that, I got and we decided we're going with a strain gauge, or we're at least going to try it. So we found a shift handle that we think is going to work. We might have to do a 2-inch setback, which G-Force sells an adapter for that. We're going to mess around with it. Obviously, that's a little bit down the road. But I wired in the strain gauge inside of the car. I'll go around to the other side. Make it easier. So right there is the plug for the strain gauge. And it goes up into the rest of the wiring. I'm sourcing 5-volt and sensor ground. It's kind of weird, it goes through the firewall, but the spare connectors are inside the engine bay, so I'm sourcing it through there. As you can see, and this is the strain gauge. So we're adding crankcase or pan vacuum sensor, and we're adding coolant pressure, so, and back pressure. So I'm kind of waiting to add that stuff until the engine gets dropped in, so I can plumb them, because we're going to do remote mounted sensors with hardline. So we're waiting till we get the engine dropped in. It shouldn't be long. I might even have them wired before that. But once the engine gets dropped in, I'll have that stuff done pretty quick, and we'll be doing our first startup. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Like I said, all we have to do is drop the cylinder heads on, clean the intake up, get it dropped on. And the other wiring project I have is the idle air control valve. The car, I can't remember what the car idled at. I want to say like maybe 11 or 1200 RPM. And that's not as low as it should be. So with an idle air control valve, we should be able to get it lower and sounding better. So I'm going to wire in an idle air control valve. We're going to use the factory Ford for that. But other than that, this will conclude part 1. So stay tuned for part 2. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and say hi to Brutus. Brutus, hi.